Jealous? Seeing her staring at him with a sharp gaze, Jasper's wicked smile deepened as he slowly stood up. No. Luna smiled dismissively, her voice indifferent. Before she could finish speaking, Jasper was already in front of her. His tall frame blocking the sunlight, a chill instantly enveloping Luna. If you don't want to, I'll cancel tonight's plans. Their bodies were almost touching. Jasper leaned slightly, deliberately whispering these words in her ear in a provocative tone. No, Mr. Jasper, please go ahead. Don't keep Miss Stella waiting. Luna turned her head away, no longer looking directly into the man's eyes. Unexpectedly, the man suddenly grabbed her legs, dragged her up, and placed her on the desk. He then leaned down, trapping her between his outstretched arms. Now I'll satisfy you. A wicked smile gradually spread across his lips, and a burning voice escaped his lips. Luna froze, hurriedly pushing against the man's chest, finally unable to control her panic. No, Mr. Jasper, it's working hours. The man's wicked smile deepened as he shoved aside the cup of Blue Mountain coffee and pinned Luna firmly against the desk. I'm your boss, and I arrange your work. Now, your job is to please me. Unexpectedly, Jasper didn't care what time it was, issuing the order directly. Before the words were even finished, his sexy, thin lips descended, quickly locking Luna's lips in his. His tongue quickly invaded, wildly and domineeringly consuming every inch of her mouth. Sunlight streamed in from the side, and from a distance, the scene possessed a harmonious beauty. But between angels and demons, there is never harmony. However, just as she was about to say something, there was a sudden knock at the door, causing the rapidly heating air to freeze. The man looked up unhappily before releasing Luna. When she came out, all sorts of complicated gazes assailed her again. If Luna's mental fortitude hadn't been strong enough, she would have felt guilty. Look, she's been inside for ages. She must be trying to seduce Mr. Jasper. What a shameless woman. However, Luna didn't care. Walking straight to her office, a hint of disdain flashing in her eyes. Damn it. He, Jasper, wasn't worthy. When she finished get off work, Jasper sent a text message, simply telling her that they wouldn't be having dinner together that night, and that he wouldn't be home until very late. They lived together in the villa area. Jasper seemed determined to keep her constantly under his thumb, giving her no chance to escape. After parking, Luna took the elevator directly. When she came out, the large living room was almost completely dark. She went straight to the window and drew back the curtains. Then, opening the door to the backyard, Luna went out and watered the white roses she had planted just yesterday in the corner. White roses, she remembered that white roses were her mother's favorite flower. They used to grow year-round in their yard. Fortunately, these flowers are quite cold, hardy. So even though the weather wasn't very warm yet, it didn't affect them much. After watering the flowers, Luna came inside and made herself a simple dinner. With nothing else to do, she sat down on the ground after eating, gazing absently at the corner of the backyard where the white roses had been planted. Moonlight fell on the ground at her feet, flowing slowly like a spring. Her figure shimmered faintly, cold and somewhat unattainable. Her long, straight black hair had grown quite long, reaching the ground when she sat down, like spilled ink. Her once round eyes, now devoid of childishness, had become incredibly deep. They remained as dark and bright as ever, but lacked warmth. Having only been away for a day, she already missed life at the manor. Missed Uncle Troy's calm, unwavering yet occasionally kind face. Just then, the sound of a door opening came from the doorway. Though faint, the sound was sharp in the stillness. Luna snapped back to reality, but wasn't too surprised. Sure enough, behind the door appeared that handsome yet icy face. You're back. Luna greeted him as she stood up, but then froze, the word back stuck in her throat. Behind the man, a woman followed. Snap. Jasper turned on the light, illuminating the previously dim living room. Luna frowned slightly, but met the man's wicked, playful gaze without flinching. Before the man could speak, the woman beside him spoke up coquettishly. Jasper, who is this woman? Why is she in your house? Luna then looked at the woman and immediately recognized her as Miss Stella. She had seen her face on television before. Jasper smiled, ignoring the woman's question, and instead answered Luna's doubts with ease. I suddenly felt that the hotel wasn't convenient, so I brought her home to do it. But the woman was not reserved at all. Instead, she laughed coquettishly. Jasper is so annoying. Huh. A cold smile bloomed on Luna's lips. Okay, I understand. She only said this calmly and indifferently. She remained unfazed, holding her head high and striding away. A chilly night wind swept over her, and Luna took a deep breath, her smile growing even colder. Because she had been kicked out at the last minute, Luna was dressed very lightly, shivering in the night wind. Walking on the wide road, luxury cars occasionally drove past her, their glaring headlights stinging her eyes. Looking up at the sky dappled with the leaves of the plane trees, her eyes suddenly reddened. Suddenly, she longed for freedom. As dusk settled, neon lights shimmered on the streets. Leaving the villa area, Luna found herself on a bustling commercial street. Finally, her tall, sexy figure vanished into a small bar. Unlike typical bars, this one was remarkably quiet. After a wary, scrutinizing look, Luna seemed satisfied with the place, her alertness gradually fading. At the bar, Luna ordered a cocktail. After what seemed like an eternity, slightly tipsy, she decided to leave. However, as soon as she turned, Luna's gaze was drawn to a corner. It was a quiet corner, yet Luna immediately noticed the man sitting there smoking alone. Jasper had said that to become his full-time secretary and bodyguard after her internship, she had to complete a task. A task. With a cold laugh, Luna changed direction and walked towards the corner. Just then, her phone rang and Luna immediately stopped. She took out her phone, saw the man's name, frowned slightly, and swiped to answer. Hello. Where are you? Blue bar near my house. Come back now. Okay. A very concise conversation, even a little stiff and cold. After speaking, Luna hung up the phone decisively. She then smiled bitterly, changed direction again, and walked towards the door. She was just a toy in his hands. Whatever he said was law. When she got home, Miss Stella seemed to have already left. If he hadn't just called, she would have thought he wasn't there either. Then Luna pushed open the bedroom door and was startled. What are you doing here? Staring blankly at the man sitting on her bed, his back to the moonlight, Luna asked. Because he was backlit, his figure had a cold, almost blinding glow. He looked like a captivating yet incredibly dangerous devil. As Luna raised her hand to turn on the light, Jasper's voice suddenly rang out. Don't turn on the light, just go take a shower. His voice was commanding and brooked no argument. But just as she was about to enter, Jasper suddenly embraced her from behind, his hot breath brushing against her neck. I suddenly want to shower together. Didn't you already shower? He clearly smelled of a shower. And this man would definitely clean himself up after making love. I'll help you shower. Jasper uttered those 3 words without room for argument, his voice already somewhat hoarse. He seemed in a hurry. As soon as the door closed, he immediately took off his bathrobe, and then hastily removed Luna's clothes. Luna pressed his hand down, her breathing erratic. Wait, I can do it myself. Whoosh! Warm water cascaded from the shower head, instantly soaking their tightly entwined bodies. Jasper pressed Luna firmly against the wall, showering her with burning kisses. Under the combined impact of the heat and the passionate kisses, Luna trembled all over. Weakly, Luna raised her head and conceded, Can we go to bed after I shower? This is so tiring. Though reluctant, he came out, leaving her with the words, Don't take too long. She stood in the water for a long, long time, as if trying to wash away the marks he had left on her. Her eyes felt hot, as if scalding tears were mingling with the hot water. When he came out, the man was clearly impatient. As soon as she arrived, he picked her up and threw her onto the bed, then pressed down on her. Although he had slept with countless women, none had ever slept beside him after lovemaking until dawn. Including her, she had never slept in the same bed with him. It was as if he always wanted to reserve the spot beside him for someone. Exhausted, Luna pulled the covers over herself and quickly fell into a deep sleep again. The night was long and pure. The next day, Luna woke up very early, seemingly deliberately avoiding the man. She rushed out without breakfast, walking straight out the front door. She had decided yesterday to take a car instead of driving. It was only her first day at the company, and rumors were already circulating. Since the rumors were true, she was the president's woman, so it was better to avoid suspicion. She just wanted peace and quiet. It was early spring, and the air was still chilly. Luna stood quietly waiting for her car. The overcast sky and pale sunlight made her figure appear even more lonely. At 20 years old, some things hadn't changed. She still liked to stand quietly, seemingly unconcerned, yet her eyes saw everything. A gentle breeze scattered her long, straight hair, which still resembled flowing ink. Only her once loose hair was now combed up for work. After waiting a long time, Luna's car didn't arrive, but a black Bentley appeared. She froze as the window rolled down. She couldn't see the man's face, but heard his cold voice, "Get in." Feeling uneasy, Luna finally got into the car. The engine started, and the Bentley sped away, kicking up dust. "Why didn't you drive?" As soon as she sat down, Jasper's cold questioning came, his gaze on the road. Tired, Luna replied, looking out the window, making up an excuse. Being a passenger was more comfortable. Jasper raised an eyebrow and stared at her profile. "Trying to embarrass me on purpose?" Luna asked, "How did you know I was at the station?" The words, "I'd love to cut ties with you," remained unspoken. "Your car is still in the garage, but you're gone." "I guessed it," Jasper replied, looking straight ahead. "From now on, either I'll drive you or you drive yourself. No taking the bus to work." "Okay," Luna responded indifferently. As they approached the company, she asked Jasper to park further away. "Just park here, I'll walk there myself." Startled, Jasper ignored her and drove straight to the company entrance. Luna sighed and said nothing. "I have an appointment outside today, I'm not going to the company." "Oh." Luna was relieved. After work, she went to the supermarket first. She wondered what the man ate every day. The house had nothing, and the refrigerator was empty. Carrying heavy bags, she realized the advantages of driving. When she arrived home, it was quiet. She assumed the man wasn't coming home for dinner and went to the kitchen. As she reached the top of the stairs, she heard a woman's moans. Mr. Jasper, you're so amazing, you're making me feel so good." She saw Jasper with a woman, the door wide open. The woman wasn't Miss Stella from yesterday. She didn't recognize her. The woman noticed Luna and gasped. Jasper looked at her indifferently and continued. Luna said indifferently, "You two continue, I'll go cook." She turned and left, closing the door. Making love in broad daylight with the door open. Did he think she wasn't there? However, Luna remained calm. What Jasper did was none of her business. The meal was quickly prepared. Just as the couple finished, Jasper led the woman to the table, his eyes on Luna. "I'll head out now." She had only prepared food for two. She wouldn't eat with a stranger. Just as she was about to turn away, Jasper told the woman to go back. The woman was unwilling, but dared not say anything. Luna sat down opposite Jasper. She had thought she'd leave, but it was the woman who left. Sometimes, she felt this man was unpredictable. "Did you do this?" Jasper asked. Luna nodded. She had learned to cook at the manor when she was 16. Jasper looked at the dishes, surprised. He had never known she could cook. Of course, he never cared about her.